Welcome back to another video, and this is the cutoff race for the round of 8 in the Division 2 playoffs. I won in the last race, so I am locked in, but for this race, everyone except the one is here. So there's very good chances that there could be some huge playoff implications, especially if the 7 or the 55 wins, because they were not here last week. So watch out for both of them, because they are going to be fighting for that playoff spot since they missed last week. So like, subscribe, and let's see who moves on with me to the round of 6. So we're at Daytona for the race. I forgot to say that in the intro. We'll say it now. It was just random pick for the starting grid, but I got second and I got out to the lead immediately, which was huge. I can now sit on the inside line this entire time as the 27 goes around and everyone else is going around, and half the field is now gone on the first lap of the race. If that doesn't tell you anything more about this race, I don't know what will. That's basically the entire race for you. But somehow, me, the 54 and 11, all of Doge Motorsports, makes it through the wreck unharmed. Somehow, we're the only three that made it. So, yeah, we race back to the line. 54 right behind me. He's going to be a push, and I'm going to be P1. Dylan's going to be P2. Tanuki's going to be P3 for this next restart. As we now go, it's very good to be on this inside line during the restarts because, well, you want to be on the inside line in the corners. So I stay on the inside. 54 getting pushed by the 27. I'm getting pushed by the 11. And I'm able to stay there. The 55 Soviet gets loose, hits iron in the 27, but they do save it there. And I'm looking to try not get turned by the 54, but I do. So, yeah. We do save it. No caution is called. So now me and Dylan have to kind of fight from the back now until there's another caution, or we just have to be fast and catch up to everyone. I do catch up to Rover in the 26 as the 55 and the 7 are getting into it. Playoffs, they're both fighting for that spot, that last spot in the round of 6 right now. They are going to be very, very aggressive this race, if you couldn't tell just by that. But I passed both of them. I get back into P4, pushing this 26, trying to get back up to the lead cars as the 27 is getting pushed by the 11, but they wreck. And then I almost wrecked the 26. 55, like I just said, he's wrecked. They call the caution. I'm in P4. I want to get to P3 here because I do not want to have to be on this outside lane because it's just a death sentence to the back of the field. So I'm looking to try and get past this 26 in some shape or way. The 7 actually of Henry gets a warning and it became a penalty later for intentional wrecking. They did appeal it later after, but yeah, he got a penalty for that. But we're now on this restart. I was in P4. I did not want to do it. You can already see the 54 to the inside as the 11 goes up over the catch fence in height, but stays in the track somehow. 55 turns off the track as well, gets into me. But oh my gosh, what a wreck it was. As the 727 looking into me, I get into the 55. He wrecks, but he does save it onto the outside of the 54. The 7 and 55 are now both involved in something again. Like I had just said, they are going to be fighting for that last spot really hard because neither of them want to be out of this playoffs this early on. As I accidentally turned the 54 as I was going to push from the 27, we come to the line. We have a photo finish. I finish in technically first. It says on the leaderboard. Should have been third, but I got second out of it. So I'm on the outside, and I don't get the push I need to get clear of the 26 like I did on the first restart of the race. So I have to hope I can just kind of slide down behind this 54 car once I'm clear, but the 7 closes up the spot for me to get down. The 11, I turned down on him. as the 26 and 54 get into it. And now the 7, who wasn't at last week's race, is now in the lead. If he wins this race, it could really mess up the playoffs and eliminate another driver that doesn't need to be eliminated. But he doesn't hold the lead for very long. The 54 gets underneath him. The 11 passes him. The 27 turns down the track on me, but he does get to the inside of the 7, almost turns him. The 7 does clear. Now he is comfortably into third place. I'm now on this inside looking to get up to them, but I'm just hoping for some green flag racing at this point. So we this actually the 7 disconnects there. He's been having so many lag issues in these last couple races that he's attended. Ever since the Dover race, he's had so many incidents of just disconnecting in the race. I don't know what to say. It really sucks for him because he can't really finish races very easily nowadays. But I am in the third now, behind my 2 teammates. I don't really need this win, but if you guys have been watching these past couple races, I have th four, no, I have 3 straight wins going into this race. So, it would be cool if I got 4 in a row, because it would mean a lot to have a 4-win streak in this league. I had to push from the 27, push the 11. We're locked, and the 54 comes down and actually frees us from being locked with our bumpers. So it's kind of boring right here. We're just kind of pushing. No one's really trying to make any moves at the time. In the back, there's probably some moves being made. But the 11 got the 54 actually a little unsettled there for a moment. And actually gave him a huge push as the 7 now rejoins the track, merges with everyone else. And you just know he's going to be very, very aggressive the rest of the race. I give the 11 a push, turns the 54 around. I go high to try and avoid it, but they drift up the track. I'm now carrying the 54. The 26 gets past us. He's getting pushed by the 7. We're trying to save him, and we do. No caution's going to get called because we saved the 54. I'm trying to get past him. I clear myself, but I do get past him. I'm back into fourth. The 11 is on the outside, and Iron is now going to take the lead with the 26 right behind him of Rover, who's not won yet this year. The 2-time Cup Series champ doesn't have a win in D2 yet as the 27 goes around, but he also saves it, and the caution does not come out. We stay green for the rest of this section. I don't know what you want to call it. We're still green, basically. But I'm in a second now. It's the highest I've been in a good bit. But this 26 hasn't won yet this year for D2. As we actually lock bumpers here, I let off a little bit trying to get off the 26, but we stay locked and we actually turn into the outside wall. And I'm going to get to the inside and I am going to ride right back into first, right where I was to lead the first lap. So now, in my mind, I'm thinking, who can I kind of give this win to if it comes down to it? Because at the time, I'm not really focused on the win streak thing, but it was in the back of my mind because it would be cool to have 4 race wins in a row. But I'm trying to see who I might want to give this win to. The 11 is a good person I could give it to. The 54 I could probably give it to. As the 11 actually shoots to the outside, tries to clear me, but I get a push on the inside from the 27 that gets me way ahead. I hop to the high side a little bit to give him some sort of draft, but it doesn't do much of anything. As now the 54 gets a push to the 27, puts him down below the double yellow, so he slows down to let people pass so he doesn't get a penalty for passing me under the double yellow, which is illegal and would result in a penalty, in which he does not want to have during these playoffs, would set him back way too far. So now we're on lap 11. We've had a good stint of just green flag racing, which won't last for long. I'll just spoil it now. We don't have very good green flag racing after our next caution, but I won't say when that next caution is because from then on it's going to be wreck on wreck on wreck. You guys are going to be very bored. As the 7 gets to the outside of the 54, he has a run. Gets side by side with me for a moment, but no one goes with him, and this inside line is just going to keep pushing and making this just get going faster and faster and faster. As the 27 back up to third now, the 54 is still right behind me, pushing me. But back to the win streak thing and all of that. That wasn't really what I was thinking of. I wanted to give this win to someone else at the time of this race because I knew I didn't need it. As the 11 actually gives a push to 54, I go around and I'm driving backwards. The backwards era is back now all of a sudden. I'm just riding the wall. The 11, he's planning to try and turn me around down this back straightaway, but the 7 goes up the track and I hit a random bump in the wall. Me and the 11 go around. We get into it again. We're on the inside wall. The caution comes out. We hit another bump in the wall, and now we are at the back of the field. The 11, I don't know what he was doing here. I don't know if he was trying to blast Fetty off. I don't know what it was, but I'm on the outside. He had the inside. And the 27 to the lead. The 55 and the 7 are now side by side. He actually comes up the track on me, and then he turns the 20, not the 27, but the 7. He turns the 54 around with it. Everyone saves it. No caution comes out. Is now I'm on this inside, not inside line, but outside line actually, trying to get down to the inside line, but it doesn't work. The 26 gets pushed up to the high side, which is, like we've said multiple times, not good. I clear myself on the 7. The 55 actually goes up track. 27 goes around for a little bit, but they do collect it. As the 55 gets turned by the 7, he's going to come way up the track, just barely gets into a gap and doesn't hit anybody, luckily. So meaning the 26 get into it a little bit. But now I'm behind the 11, who's behind the 54. 27 stranded on that outside line. I'm not going to give him that line because I want as many positions as I want to get. The 7 gives the push to the 27. We all lock bumpers here. Luckily, we do get unlocked very quickly, unlike the other time with the 26. The 7 trying to look outside, decides not to. He goes back inside to follow this absolute train of a field right now. As the 54 leads, the 11 in second, me in third, and then the 27 in fourth. As I actually go to the outside on accident, let the 27 to my inside, and I can't really battle it. I just have to hope he gets going and I can slide in right behind him, and that's what I'm going to try and do. I go a little inside. I get a push from the 7, and it turns the 27 around. The 7 gets involved with it too, but I spin the 27 off of a push from Henry and collect a good amount of the field there. Everyone behind us got cleaned out pretty much, just like that first lap wreck that we had. So now the 54 gets turned by the 11. He's sideways, he's backwards, but he does save it. He's below the double yellow, trying to get back up the track. They're fighting side by side. I'm going to try and get past the 11, but it's not going to work. He's going to slide in to the bottom, and he almost makes a move on the 54 coming back to the line, but nothing's going to happen from it. I'm going to be in P3, which actually is a really good thing because now I'm going to be on this inside line as we restart. The 11 actually gets a good restart, but he has to slow down to turn, and he can't get down to the inside line. So now I go into P2, which is huge. The 7 turns the 55. He goes back up track. They do save it, but they did almost cause another caution there. I'm now behind this 54, like we said. The 11 was able to slide in behind us because of all of that chaos. So now Doge leading once again with the top 3 cars. As a caution comes out as they're wrecking in the back, the 55 goes for a hard hit and a very rough ride in the back. I almost get turned. I pretty much do by the 11. I come back up the track, sliding across. I don't even remember what position I got. I think I go into P2, and I do. So now here I'm trying to get past the 54 on the restart, but I do not get the push that's needed, but the 11 gets turned. People are upside down. I saw the 7 involved as well. We aren't even going to make it 3 seconds without a caution now, as we're on lap 17 of 25. That's the 7th caution of the race, probably 6th. I don't even know. It's not even good to count anymore. So now I focused on making a move on the 54. I go high just barely, then go low. He does block it very well, but it almost worked. That tells me what I'm able to possibly pull off coming into maybe a really close finish, what I might be able to do to get a win here if I need it. But at this point, I'm just pushing the 54. But what I do realize regarding the playoffs, if I do win, I get another 5 points going into the next round. So at this point, my mind has now gone to let's win this thing. The win streak would be cool to have, but another 5 points going into the next round is going to help a ton. So my goal is to now to win, to try and get more points. Make myself easy to get to the Champ 4, which would be huge. As the 26 goes around by the 11's front bumper. Him and the Doge Splitters as I turn the 11 as he comes back up the track. He involves the 55. Is now the 27 behind me, the 54 leading. The 11 actually saved it, as you can see just behind us. He seems to be in P4 here, but no position changes are going to happen coming to the line. So we have another caution. I told you guys, lots of cautions this race. Another restart, and another time on the outside lane. This time I do get a push from the 11, and I do almost clear the 54. I don't have enough time to clear him, but as you can see in the back, the 7's around, and another caution is going to come out eventually. I would think. Actually, no caution's coming out yet. Henry is still going back there. We're actually 3 wide, and no caution is going to come out. Surprisingly, we're 3 wide right now for the lead. Goes back to 2 wide as he actually goes out the track. Me and 11 both get very much slowed down. We're going to be in the very back of the field now, as the caution does eventually fly because of me and Tanuki's incident for some reason. Don't know why the caution wasn't called earlier, but it is called now. So now we're on 6 laps to go. I'm back on this outside lane. Don't really know what everyone was doing to line up, but the 55 didn't get a good start eventually. He does get side by side with Dylan in the 54. He's looking to get a win and get into the playoffs and hopefully get some momentum going into the next round, but the 27 and the 55 get involved in a bit of a scuffle, a wreck, I don't know what you want to call it, an incident, but the caution comes out for it. As now the 7 is into second. He's going to slide down to the bottom side and get to the 54's back bumper. So now we're all pushing. The 26 gets to the inside of the 7. So now I'm looking to push the 11. He almost turns 26. And 26 does eventually go around. I get P3 from the 7. Sorry for the cough there, guys. My throat is dry. But now, we have 5 laps to go. We're trying to just finish this race at this point. I almost get turned by the 27 as the 11 goes backwards. The 7 involved, and the hard hit for the 11 in the catch fence. They're going to call another caution here any second now. There it is. But now, I see if I can make another move. I have the 27 behind me giving a push. I'm going to fake high, then go low again, but I was going too fast to really do anything. So now I just push the 54, and I'm probably going to be in second. I want to look for a move to try and get past the 54 here, but it's not going to happen. I do look to the outside, but the 54 actually puts us in the wall. Now the 7 side by side. Now the 54 actually turns. I'm turning around, spinning out, in going across the line. I do get P3 as the 26 was unfortunate. Got 4th. I don't even remember at this point. 55 was the gray car there. 27 on the outside. Sorry, the inside. The 7's on the outside of Henry. As right now, 4 laps to go, the battle to look at right now is the 7 and the 55. It's just like the duels. Whoever finishes higher is going to make those playoffs. As another caution comes out, unsure of the reason at the time of recording, and I really don't even know what it could be nowadays. So I'm just looking to push this 27 and just get to second, maybe even first if I get a push from the 54. I do fake high, then go back low, but it's not enough to get to the inside of the 27. So I'm just going to be back in second. But it's whatever, because I sense a good restart incoming. And what do you know? I get the pushes. I get clear the 27 on the outside line. It finally works, and I'm back into first place. This 7 into third as well, as now he's fighting with the 54 back there. I'm getting a huge shot from the 27 right now. We have 2 to go. This is the first overtime restart as well. The 54 getting pushed down below the double yellow after trying to overtake down there. The 11 goes to the outside of the 27. Everyone's going everywhere right now. The 26 you can just barely see out is also on that outside line. Everyone trying to fight for position right now. Out of turn 4, we're looking to get to the white flag. But there's a wreck in the back. The 54 is up on top of a car. The caution flies as he spins the 7 into the inside wall. The 55 is now ahead in this battle. He's actually the row ahead of the 7. They are the ones looking to punch their ticket into the playoffs. As I get another great restart. As the 54 to the inside, someone has wrecked. Actually, it's Henry disconnecting. Unfortunate time for the disconnect. Now, all he can do is really watch, because you cannot merge coming to the white flag. So now he just has to hope this 55 does not finish the race somehow or some way. Or there could be a caution just like that. The 26 wrecks. 55 gets involved. The caution does come out. A very big break for the 7 car, as now he's going to have one more chance to be able to get into these playoffs, as now we go to the third and final overtime restart. There will be no more restarts after this. No more cautions will be called. We now, side by side with the 11, the 54 behind me. Everyone does not want to wreck here. Everyone wants to get to the line. Everyone wants to finish this race at this point. We've been racing for over a half hour now with constant wrecks every lap. I have a huge lead down the backstretch. I do not want them to have a huge push coming to me and be able to get around me. 54 though doesn't look super fast, but he is getting a push from the 11. I am going to block because I want this win now. As I said earlier, I want those extra 5 playoff points to be able to get into the next round comfortably. As the 54 almost gets turned around by the 11, I block the run he gets from it. As now we go to the white flag. The 11 giving a huge shot to the 54 as he gets the back bumper. Everyone's single file. The 7 right now is ahead of the 55. Huge story to keep your eyes on during this. I get a push. I'm way out in the lead. I am not comfortable with this, knowing they have a back straightaway that they can make a move on. But nothing happens. We get locked down the back stretch, and I'm going to be able to lead right now. The 7 in 4th. The 55 is in 6th right now, I want to say. 6th or 7th. He is not looking good right now. The 54 pushing. The 11 gets loose. He hits the 54. They're side by side right now, coming down to the stripe. 54 bumps the 11. He's going to get turned by the 7. I go down block. I turn the 54. Across the line. I win. The 7 gets 3rd or 4th. This race is going to end. The 7 moves on to the round of 6 with such an amazing finish at Daytona.